Hey guys, this is Vin from The Better Gentleman. Today we're going to be talking about the new phones coming out from Samsung. So we got the Note 10 and the Note 10 Plus that were just announced a few days ago, and they're releasing pretty soon. And the starting point for the Note 10 is $949, and the Note 10 Plus is going to be at $1049. First, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the features that each one has. Alright, so first we're going to start looking at the features here. And for starters, we have the ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. This is the first Note series to get it. The S10 Plus did have it. Samsung didn't really say if they upgraded the software from the S10 Plus or the hardware from the S10 Plus, which is kind of glitchy at times. It's not as fast as the regular fingerprint scanners on the older phones. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it can feel like kind of a downgrade. It's got the cool aesthetic, but I mean, I'm not so sure if you would consider that an upgrade. And then what else is different is the front-facing camera. It gets a bump up to 10 megapixels, and the rear camera gets the addition of the 16 megapixel wide-angle lens. And you get slightly better charging on the Note 10 and a lot faster charging on the Note 10 Plus. The Note 10 being at 25 watts of charging, and the Note 10 Plus taking up to 45. It still comes with a 25 watt brick in the box, but you can upgrade it to the 45. And these phones also included reverse wireless charging, and it's a significant amount of improvement over what they had in the S10 Plus. Another addition would be the upgraded chipset from the older Note series, is that this has the 855, and the 10 comes with 8 gigabytes, 10 Plus comes with 12 gigabytes. So if you're looking at this phone, most likely you're coming up from either a Note 8 or the S8 or maybe an S9, maybe a Note 9, but I really think if you got the Note 9, you should just kind of stick to it for now and maybe wait for the next years, because the upgrades that are in here are kind of incremental, and I don't really think you would see that big of a difference as if you were coming from a Note 8. Now, the biggest thing that's going to stick out to people between the older Note series is that this is the first one. This is the first one that does not have a headphone jack at all in the 10 or the 10 Plus. Also, what's lacking here is the expandable memory for the Note 10. The Plus does have it though. And you're also getting a smaller battery on the Note. It's actually smaller than the S10 Plus, which I thought that it was kind of interesting. And you're also getting a lower screen resolution. So the screen for sure would be a downgrade. The Note 9 was at a 6.4, and I think the Note 8 was somewhere around that as well. But I believe all of those phones had Quad HD, not just Full HD. Whether or not that matters to you is going to be up to you, but really does not seem like an upgrade at all. So let's say that these are your 4 choices, and if you were choosing between all of them, so should you upgrade or not, right? If you got the Note 9, like I said, just hold on to that for a while. If you're coming from a Note 8 though, should you consider the Note 10? And honestly, I'm just going to go straight off the bat and say do not consider the Note 10 at all. I don't think that's a good buy. All right, and now I'm going to talk a little bit about why I don't think that's a good buy. The Note 10 Plus is only $100 more, right? If you're pre-ordering, you're going to get an extra $50 from Samsung, and that's to go ahead and spend on their website. So you're going to go ahead and kind of make up some of that difference between price and that. The Note 10 only gets $100, so it's really only a $50 difference. But the reason I wouldn't consider the Note 10, right? Let's just go ahead and compare to the Note 9, because I think if you wanted something that wasn't the 6.8 inches of the Note 10 Plus, but you still wanted to get most of the features and whatnot out of it, I think you would be just fine with the Note 9. The reason for that is that the Note 9 right now you can get for as low as $400, right? It does have last year's software on it. It's got Oreo on it, but it's upgradable to Pi. And so the big key thing here is that the okay, whatever's marked in red is what I consider to be bad, right? You get a worse screen, right? You're getting worse battery. You're getting no expandable memory. And then on top of that, you kind of lose out on some of the security features that are available on the Note 9. So nobody really talks about it, but with the new Note series, you're missing out on the iris scanner, and even the S10 Plus, you're missing out on the iris scanner. And I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal, but it kind of is. The regular facial recognition, it can be spoofed very easily, and just I would have maybe preferred a notch over, missing out on that, the iris scanner. And then it's just the other upgrades in the Note are just incremental. If you look at the Note 9 here, let me tell you what you're getting extra with the Note 9, which is kind of funny to say because all these are supposed to be upgrades. So the Note 9, right, has a bigger battery, right? It has expandable memory, right? And then you still have your headphone jack, which is missing from the Note 10, right? So to me, it's just, you kind of get a little bit more, like, yeah, you get more processor and stuff on the Note 10. Whoops. Actually, let me redo that. On the Note 10, you are getting the newer chipset, right? But I don't think you would be kind of missing out on anything if you had the chipset from the Note 9. Nobody has really complained about having too many issues of that. And if you go ahead and look between the comparison videos between the Note 9 and the S10 Plus, it was a very incremental change, right? And so if you're going out and let's say you do want to go ahead, you don't want the Note 9, right? Because it has an older chipset, you want the newer chipset. If you can live without having an S Pen, the S10 Plus is cheaper right now, and because it's a little bit older, and it has more features, right? This is kind of what I was talking about. Is if you compare the S10 Plus to the Note 10, the S10 has more features, and kind of weird because in the past the Note series has always had more features. The Note 9 has more features than the S9 Plus, right? But let's go ahead and compare between the S10 Plus and the Note 10, right? So first off, right now the S10 is a lot cheaper, right? You're going to save about $300. And over here, it has a better display, right? That's crazy. The S10 Plus has a better display, right? It has a bigger battery, right? And that is, to me, is just crazy. It's kind of like the Note 10 is a step down. I don't understand that. And then you have expandable memory as well on the S10 Plus. You have an extra depth sensor for the selfies on the S10 Plus, which is missing and lacking on both of the Notes. And then the only thing is you are missing out on the S Pen, but everything else is here and then some, and you still get to keep your auxiliary jack, right? One thing, so let's go ahead and let's put out the positives of the Note, right? For the Note, you do get, whoops, sorry about that. Let me change the color back here. All right, for the Note series, you do get faster charging and faster wireless charging. And whether or not that's important to you is, well, it's going to be up to you. Right now, kind of where I stand with the S10 Plus is that I don't really look for my charger throughout the day, and I'm a very heavy user. So it's, to me, I don't think the 25 watts of charging is that attractive. The reverse wireless charging, same thing. I don't typically use it, not because it's slow or whatever, but just because your phone becomes useless while it's doing that. And I think it's just better to have an extra cord or whatever, or search for an extra cord or use a pad or anything else. But I definitely do not think that it's that big of a deal, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I would definitely go ahead and miss out on these features over here. I would definitely miss out on having expandable memory, because I do use a lot making videos and whatnot, or storing files, especially if this is going to be like a DeX device. You don't like, if it's really meant to be something that can like replace your computer, then I think it should definitely have expandable memory. I don't really know where the sense was. I would definitely miss out on having as big of a battery. The 25 watts might be important because of the battery. If you need to keep charging it all day, and I really don't want to go back to those times, right? The screen, full HD. Actually, I'm going to take that off. I don't think that's going to bug me too much, but it's just better on the S10 Plus. So I don't know why anybody would consider it. All right. So again, to me, it's the Note 10 is really a downgrade. There's a lot more positives here for the S10 Plus, right? The only thing being you are missing out on the S Pen, right? But you have everything else, right? Everything that's not circled here, right, is available in the Note 10 and the Note 10 Plus. In addition, you get to keep your auxiliary port, right? So the main point of comparing it to the Note 10 instead of the Plus was that I do think the Note 10 Plus could be worth your time. Reason being is that the Note 10 Plus is really what is building on top of the Note 9. I don't think the Note 10 is building on top of that. I don't know why Samsung released it. Maybe it's just to say that, oh, I got a Note, whatever, for people that want to get the newest phone. But I really do think, like, if we go back and let's compare the Note 9 and the Note 10 Plus, and you'll see that that's really where the upgrade is. So I'm going to go over here, and we're going to go over the key differences between the Note 9 and the Note 10 Plus, right? So over here, like, if you recall, the Note 9 had a better screen than the Note 10. But over here, the Note 10 Plus, it does have the bigger screen. Meanwhile, it's about the same size as the old Note 9, because it's just the full screen versus them having a much bigger body, right? And then it does have more RAM, right? It does have that bigger battery, which I don't think you're going to really get an improvement over the Note 9 or the S10 Plus, because it has a bigger screen, but at least it's not a downgrade, right? And then you do keep the expandable memory. You do get the under display fingerprint scanner if you like it. You do get that extra the wide lens right here, and then but the only thing is you miss out on the headphone jack right here. That's the only thing that's missing from the Note 9, but the other ones are improvements, which is how I think it should be, right? And the charging speed, so 25 watts to me, I don't think it's going to make that big a difference, but 45 watts, like, that is a big improvement over 15, right? And you do have the wireless charging here as well, which, again, whether or not you're going to use it is up to you. But to me, I think your choice is, if you wanted a Note, it should be between the Note 9 and it should be between the Note 10, right? Forget about the Note 10 Plus. Forget about the Note 10 altogether, right? It's $100 difference, and with the discounts and whatnot, it's only a $50 difference. Spend the $50 and get the Note 10 Plus. You'll be a lot happier with that. And if you want the smaller phone, get the Note 9. It's cheaper right now anyways. But what I will say is, if you can live without the S Pen, then go with the S10 Plus, because to me, that's definitely a better phone than the other ones on here. Just because it retains all the features. It has a better front-facing camera. The only thing is the charging speed and the reverse wireless charging. It's on the slower side compared to the newer phones, the 10 and the Note 10 and the Note 10 Plus. But overall, in general, it's just a better phone. It has more features. And that's kind of what I wanted to kind of conclude on everything here. Basically, my point is that in the past, the Note series has always been an upgrade to the S series. which is why I didn't include the older S9 Plus over here, because the Note 9 has all those features and then some, right? Whereas this year's Note does not. I mean, maybe I think they should have called this the Note 10 Lite rather than the Note 10 and then have a Note 10 Plus, because the Note 10 Plus is really what's the next generation of Note, and the Note 10 is, again, should be the light version of it. It has a worse screen, has a worse battery, it doesn't have expandable memory. All the things that make a Note, it does not have. Note 10 is a clear downgrade from the S10 Plus. It's like if you took the S10, well, I mean, even I think the S10 would have been better because you still get to keep your headphone jack. But essentially what I'm saying is that, like, it's the light version of it. The battery is what's really going to kill this phone. Is that I don't know why they decided to put such a small battery in the Note 10. Whereas keeping a regular size battery in the Note 10 Plus. And while speaking about battery, that's what they said was that was their reason for getting rid of the headphone jack, right? And okay, so if that's the sense, and the Note 10 and the Note 9 are about the same size and whatnot, then how come the Note 9 was able to retain that and the Note 10 could not, and it still has a smaller battery? It doesn't make any sense, right? So to me, the Note 10 is a clear downgrade, and even the Note 10 Plus, it's still, in my opinion, it's lacking, right? It has a worse camera, a worse front-facing camera. Not terrible by any means, by the way. Just it's not as good. And I get that they wanted to keep the design language and whatnot. And I mean, I'm pretty sure whenever they figure out the under display stuff, that they'll go ahead and they'll bring back more. They'll bring back the other cameras and the sensors and the arrays. But that's kind of the point. It's like, so maybe just wait on that. So if you have the Note 9, I would not upgrade. If you have the Note 9, I wouldn't upgrade any of these phones. I would just stick with it till next year's. If you got the Note 8, I think your choice should be between the Note 9 and the Note 10 Plus or the S10 Plus. The Note 10 should not even be a contender. I don't think the Note 10 should be a contender for anybody. Well, anyways, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Leave them down in the comments below. If you enjoy the video, give me a thumbs up, and hope to see you guys next time.